Last weekend was Don't Park on the Grass 2018, the first real big tournament for Smash Ultimate. A lot of Smash 4 and maybe Melee top players are likely to excel, at least at the start of the game, so we can't take these results as a surefire representation of the true metagame and scene. But it is of course still worth analyzing. However, this is all very early stuff, so take most of what I say with a grain of salt. Let's start at the top, the main event, and then work our way down. It was a PG Grand Finals with longtime friends and partners NVD and ESAM duking it out. NVD ended up taking it fairly convincingly, beating ESAM in both winners and Grand Finals 3-1. It's always nice to see that sportsmanship between those two, ESAM himself clapping when NVD won. A lot of early metagame talk had Pikachu as one of the best, if not the best of the whole game, and we definitely were able to see why in a tournament setting. He's basically the same OP rat, but with less lag overall, like everyone got, more auto cancels, a spike, oh, and a nair that follows up into everything. Him getting second in this tournament backs that up. One character whose opinions of were all over the place was Snake. I personally didn't think he was going to be good, didn't think it was going to be bad, but not, top tier or high tier. All of his moves just felt too slow. I thought that he worked back then in Brawl because it was such a slow game with little movement options, therefore his bombs and such felt more oppressive. Also, he lost his old down smash, but nope, his bombs feel pretty damn oppressive still. If there's a character that could get in and pressure him up close so he can't set up right, I'm pretty sure Pikachu would be it, with quick attack, fast lagless aerials, and tilts. Yet the mere rate at which Snake can pull out grenades just looked impossible to deal with. Often, even if ESAM was able to get a hit and start a combo string, it would get interrupted by a grenade NVD was holding. In general, the mix of well-placed grenades, up smash, and having to keep track of C4 made the stage so hard to traverse. It straight up locked parts of it and made it so hard to get in. So hard to avoid too. Moments I felt like ESAM was winning the neutral, getting in and landing a few strings, but several miscellaneous grenades hit as he was doing so, and they were in matching percents. He has combos off grenades, he has some cool C4 tricks. Oh, and Nikita is fucking nuts, it's just busted. It moves faster than PK Thunder and it kills. So off stage, you're shit out of luck. When it comes to killing, he's still strong. He's got up tilt, which has good range even if it's not the ridiculousness Brawl's was, and of course you can now do it out of dash. And both his forward throw and his back throw kill. Albeit they're kinda high percents, like 150, 160 at the edge on Pikachu who's light, but the fact that both kill is amazing for him, since no matter what direction he grabs you, if you're near the edge you're dead at high percents. Now my opinion is that Pikachu is still the better character overall. I feel like he still has better tools and better winning matchups, but maybe Snake isn't that much of a good one for him. It's obviously hard to know at this point if it's that or ESAM just hasn't figured out the matchup quite well. That's quite unlikely since probably nobody else is getting that much top level Snake experience. Like I said, they're friends and training partners, but it's week 1, we're all still learning. In the end, I think Snake has a lot of flaws that can be exploited. Other characters might be able to pressure him better, rush down characters with more range on their dash attacks and dash grabs and landing aerials, maybe characters with better natural air movement who can dodge through it. I'd say characters with a reflector, but that really won't work with Snake, because often he just plants grenades on the floor for stage control, and they damage him anyway. Maybe characters who can out-projectile him. Villager comes to mind, because he can throw out a bunch of shit and pocket grenades. He can also edge guard him, which is another topic to discuss. One of the reasons people were saying Snake would be weak is because everyone assumed his slow moving recovery with a small weak hitbox would be easy to edge guard. Hell, we even saw it in the Invitational. But the tech NVD figured out was that even though it was slow, it goes really high. So he did just that to create a landing / juggling situation instead of an edge guarding situation, which usually worked alright for him since he could drop C4, B reverse grenade, or cancel the up B with a move. This definitely makes his recovery better than people anticipated, but it could be other characters deal with it better, like characters with moves that send at lower angles, though those are rare, or characters that are better at juggling than Pikachu. Regardless, my final thoughts are he's definitely good, probably high tier. It's nice to see NVD starting this game strong. These two players are interesting to think about in comparison to Smash 4. They both started out fairly strong, particularly ESAM almost beating Zero at SmashCon 2015. They both fell off kinda heavily as more very talented players began to rise up, NVD especially, and they both picked it up as 2018 progressed. ESAM I think has always been very solid, but he's just had issues with consistency. It's hard to tell why. You can tell he is definitely someone who cares, who's competitive. He works hard and practices like crazy. It could just be his aggressive playstyle, a going for it kind of playstyle that causes this.
Man. Alright, just such oh! You the taunt!
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
But I really have high hopes for him for Ultimate. He's always been a great Smash player. I think he's gotten even better over time, and he's using one of the best characters in the game. NVD, I think, is another who we can clearly see has worked super hard to optimize his old favorite character. He's also a player who's hungry to be better, who's improving. His rise around the end of Smash 4 showed that, and I also think he's going to be better in this game than he was in the last. NVD started off with Duck Hunt in Smash 4, then switched to Diddy, who soon got patched, and it seemed it took a while for him to really connect and become one with the character, which seems to be happening instantaneously with Snake. Other worthy players and characters to mention include Conga, top 3, who's trying to be the best DK out here. You know that spot will be well contested, as there have been many DK loyalists in the history of the series, but he's going hard. Seems to have parry timing down better than most people. DK as a character honestly looks pretty similar. Obviously he has more options given the new options of the game, but not much stood out. His punch has very little lag, less than Smash 4 I think. He also has a really cool looking down throw after cargo. He kind of like bumps you against his own chest. It's really cool. Conga tried to get kills with it quite a lot, but it didn't really work. I mean, it works, definitely something to look out for in smaller stages. He was just pulling the trigger too early on it. Big D had a big showing. He had a great set with Conga himself. One thing to learn from that is that DDD seems like a really good matchup against DK. I don't know how it was in Smash 4, but Gordo just kind of doesn't let him exist off stage, makes that with his huge hammer and multiple jumps, and he just really outranges him and outpressures him in the air in general. Big D used many characters though. He beat an Incineroar named Magister with Falcon on a really hype set. He beat out Captain L's Pichu with Peach, just a solid performance. Captain L himself showed that Pichu is pretty damn good, though showed Pichu's flaws as well. It's pretty much what everyone has been saying. She's the truest glass cannon, though I really believe she will stay around the top 15 characters of the game. Just too many tools, too lagless, too hard to hit, too strong. Too Many Cooks, arguably the best Dr. Mario main in Smash 4, reached top 8 and is using Young Link now. Great change. Young Link is solid as hell in this game. I saw that here and in my local. He's just so fast and lagless for a projectile user. They balanced them out by going, well, let's take and nerf his range and knockback. He is way weaker, but given that Link is so damn strong, Young Link is just like average, which is good enough. He's still got several moves that kill and projectiles to set up into them. He got taken out by J-Tails playing Toon Link, which was a crazy matchup to see. Just a bunch of bombs and boomerangs flying everywhere every which second. He was also using Diddy Kong, who looks pretty similar for the most part. J-Tails was much bigger back in Brawl. Didn't really have good results in Smash 4. Let's see if he can change that this time around.
Dude, this is actually such a good choice from J-Tails. Oh, and he gets
my goodness!
Damn, it feels good to...
There indeed was an Incineroar at top 8. The game is still young and people have varying opinions, but this was pretty surprising to me because I kind of place Incineroar in bottom tier or max low tier. That might not be that bad in this game. It seems pretty balanced, maybe more than Smash 4 was. The point is, I don't see him being that good. Magister seems very talented. His character, however, is just simply too slow on the ground and his recovery is just too bad for him to be any good in this game. I unfortunately couldn't watch much outside of top 8 because I was at a tournament myself. There was a Ganon in top 32 called Verminubis, that's pretty cool. A Ridley 2 called Kavoy, it'll be up on the screen, sorry bro. That's about all I saw. Really, we're gonna have to see how ESAM, NVD, and all these other recognizable players stack up in the first Super Major, where all the big names like Zero and Nairo and others will attend. Anyway, it was pretty cool to see the first big tournament of Smash Ultimate. Hope you enjoyed this recap / analysis. See ya then. Peace!